and it says live. It says you're live. And you can tell you're live because of the seconds are rolling. Been on for 6 seconds.
Rolling, rolling.
Good evening.
Hi, ladies.
We are live. It'll take just a minute for people to get in the room. This is going to be a live art show tonight. We're going to be doing some felting lessons. And I am waiting for some people to get into the chat room. And the way we do this is I will be demonstrating some art and some crafting skills, teaching the people in the chat room. And this is live, so if you're watching this at a later time and you want to zip through the boring parts to get to the good parts, I encourage you to do so. And until then, I will be interacting with the people in the chat room because that's how we do it. So it is Thursday, January the 2nd, and it'll just be a few minutes as people get into the room and get organized and get going. I come on at 7 o'clock, and I am a few minutes early, so we'll piddle around until everybody gets here. This is the fox that we've been working on, and I'll be showing this a lot tonight. Everybody will want to be seeing it. But this was a 3-step process. The first step was to wet felt a background of white. And then the second step was felting some more, a middle layer of the background, which included the sky and the field in the background. And it was felted on a second time. And then the third step was I felted the fox on top of the wet felting. And then after I did that online. After I did that, I went back this morning and I sewed all the little beads onto my workpiece. So there's a lot of little seed beads here. And it was a lot of fun to go back and do that. I like doing that kind of stuff. What?
Million Joe.
Oh, Joe is in the house. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, ladies.
Good evening. So here's our little foxy guy. And I think also I wanted to share with you guys, when I was working on this top coat, I poked it a lot and there was a lot of holes. And you have to rub on them to get the holes to disappear so that you don't still see the holes. Like right here, you saw holes, but as I can rub the holes and blend it all. Teresa said, "Hi, Joe."
Oh, hi, Teresa.
So, anyway, I did want to also share that. I know I watched the stream and I did notice that there was a lot of little holes where I punched and with my needle, and that's normal, so that's where you go back and you can rub the needle marks out, and you can't tell what you've done. So anyway, that's what we did the other day, and I really, really have enjoyed this piece, and I'm ready to do some more. I'm ready to do some more pieces, and I can continue to work on him. I've got some more beading to put in right here. I don't have any beads right here. And also I've got some beads like this. They look like rock. There's a name for them. And chip beads. This is like a shell from a shell. And I can put beads like that on the ground to make it look like, landscape.
Cobblestone.
I think I'm going to put them on a piece of foam cord board, which is just a styrofoam board, And I think I can stand him up. I think I can probably get it onto a board, and I think I'm going to sit him on the mantle. He is so cute and fun to look at. And that was I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, it looks like it's a rock. It's like a stone, and it's a bead. And I've got some more chunky beads that I can put in there. Hi, Janet. So, yeah. And I'll look for some more beads while we're sitting here waiting on people to come in. I can do that now. We can look together in my bead box. And you know I love my bead box.
Hi, Janet. Glad to see you here tonight.
I've got some of these these are shell beads. They're made out of shells. I don't know how they color them, but they look like a piece of seashell,
They look like a little mother pearl.
Yeah, they look like a little, but
Shell.
I don't know how they made them, but I got some more of those. But I can put some chunky beads in there. Make it look like a something t'other. Rocks. See, this is out of stone, natural stone, and it's in the gray box, but the stone has a lot of brown in it, so it looks earthy. So I can put him on there. Here's a regular stone, but this one has a lot of brown in it, so I'm going to use that one. Thank you. He's foxy. He's a foxy guy. So, yeah, that'd be good. That will be good. So, have you guys been doing anything today? I don't know where everybody's at. Teresa, go over, if you don't care, go over in my YouTube and post me that I'm live. I know you. That way it might alert people if they're not getting any notifications. Anyway, I think these few would look good on there somewhere. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it. I'd love you forever if you did. Oh, she did. She sent you some beads. Oh, did you? Thank you, Teresa. You're so good. Thank you. Your cousin sent you some boxes of beads? All right. Cool beans. One of the things that I did do when I sewed my beads on, I was really good about not showing the thread on the back. I went underneath in the middle, so the back of my piece is pretty too. You don't see a lot of thread, just a little bit there, but I don't see any other thread marks. I hid my thread in the middle of my piece. So I did that, and I had to use a real tiny needle for beading. The needle has to be able to go through the small beads. That's true, the back, but I'm just saying you don't have to have. You can show your threads, or you can hide the threads like that. And I wanted to show it as a demo. to, if you wanted to be neat on the back, that you could. And I also used a nylon. This is a nylon type of thread. It's real strong. It's not cotton, and it's real strong. And it'll probably give me a finger paper cut before it would let me break it. So I have to use scissors. Yeah, Happy New Year's, everybody. So I did choose a good strong thread for my beads, so they wouldn't accidentally come off. Hi, Terry. Hi, Jennifer. Here comes everybody. It's not all lost. I'm early. I'm just goofing off until everybody gets here. We are going to finish our little angel. And I have to really hold my mouth right to get that thread in that needle. But I did it. And sometimes your needle and thread will go through your wool. So, because this little knot won't be big enough to hold it to the other side. So I'll show you what I do. I make a big old chunky knot on the back and make it real sloppy like. I make it sloppy like that. When I put my needle in the back, I've got a big chunky knot there, and I can go back and catch up to it and sew around it. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to work in this little space right here. So I go to the back and I push my needle through till I'm almost to the back, like that. But I'm not pulling it real tight. It's just sitting here. Okay? So that's my knot. And I pulled it just that much. Okay? Now I'm going to go back down in the same hole where I came out of, or it'll be near the hole, because you can't go down the exact same hole in this type of project. But I go back through to the back, and then I can tack this back of this knot by sewing it down a couple of times. Does that make sense? So that'll give you an idea of how you can keep your thread from pulling through. So I've got it tied down, secured real tight, so it won't come through, it won't come off now. So then I go back through the knot to the front and add a bead. Hi guys. How you doing, Jennifer? Oh, there you go, Teresa. Teresa said her mom told her not to make a knot so that the back would look neater. Yeah. She used glue. Okay, Janet. You're in the UK. Where are you? Whereabouts? Whereabouts, Janet? I did not know that. She said it was midnight where she is. Oh, did you? Okay, Jennifer's got a stomach bug. Boy, I had heartburn all day today, and I thought, man, this is not good. I had to quit drinking coffee today because of it. Janet is very nice. Oh, good. That's the way we like everybody to be. I'm waiting for her to tell me where she is. There is a few second delay. So anyway, now I'm ready to add a bead. And I'm going to add this big chunky bead here. It's a marble stone of some sort. It's a rock. So I'm going to put it down flat, and I'm going to go to the back side, and I'm going to pull it tight a little bit, but I'm going to go back up to the other side where the knot is and go through it again to make it a double loop, a double thread, double sewing thread. So it'll be on good and strong. So I'm going through it again, through the bead, and then back to the back. And you can do this as many as times as you would want to make your bead feel secure. And it's a heavy one, so I'm going to do it again. We can go through it as many times as you want to make it feel secure. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Cheryl. Outside of London. Well, great, Janet. That's neat. I've got a pen pal in South Wales. I do. You're right outside of London. And I have a neighbor that was from, I think he was from a little town north of London. I think he was in a little town north of London, but he lives here. He lives across the street from me now.
His mom lives there still.
Yeah, she lives still. No, she's over here now.
Oh, well,
I think they're all over here.
I first talked to him about it a couple of years ago. He was.
I think they live here now. But anyway, yeah. Happy New Year's, everybody. Did everybody have fun? Did anybody do anything special? We went to a party. It was a birthday New Year's party. Someone said, haven't seen you online. I said, well, I haven't been home. Been out running around. I did.
It was a friend of mine's, his wife's birthday.
Yep.
And it was my birthday, so we got together.
Double birthday.
Went out and ate on Thursday, and then Friday we went out and ate then too, didn't we?
We went out to eat, and then we had a party and played cards and ate birthday cake all night. Yeah. Had a headache. I've had a headache for a couple days. I don't know why. I don't normally get headaches. Something's going on. But anyway, this was the fox that we've been working on, and I'm kind of done with it. I put the beads on, and I love it. Love it. Now I'm looking right now. I'm looking for some some of that sari silk, and I've got some in my shopping cart, but I haven't bought it yet. Oh, you going out for your birthday? Teresa's birthday too. Woohoo! Happy birthday. Hi, Joan. Joan's here. So that's good. So anyway, I'm in my second favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. I'm playing with my beads.
What's the first thing?
Well, the first was doing this felting project. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
I just really loved it.
I thought it might be the eagles.
Yeah, extra water. Okay. That's a good idea, Jan.
You want something to drink?
Jan, that's a good idea. She says that would help. I think I've just been eating too much junk and sweets and things,
Yeah.
And that's what's caused my acid. Because normally when I'm on my particular little diet, I don't have any heartburn, you know. But we've been eating out. We had Mexican, and then we had cake, and then we had more cake, and so.
Well, I'm just so glad y'all showed up tonight because she was really down in the dumps.
Oh, I have not. I've been working on this box.
You act like a sick puppy dog in bed.
Well, my heartburn was killing me. I was in pain.
I know it.
I ended up eating a piece of bread. I thought maybe milk would help me, but no. Yes, the carbs will keep me out of indigestion. Is that what you meant to say, Terry? Yes. Yeah. And so anyway, ever since Christmas, I've been trying to get back on my keto, and I was doing real good until yesterday, and my mom made a pot of beans, which I don't eat because they hurt my belly. But I had me a little keto plate, and then she made carrot cake. Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, nobody forced you to eat that though, did they?
Well, they didn't have to twist my arm very hard, but I did eat some of that. And then Joe gave me a big old half of a Hershey candy bar.
You had a chocolate
I
surge.
had chocolate overload. So yeah, I think that's what did it. It's all Joe's fault.
Cocoa comatose.
It's all Joe's fault.
Cocoa comatosis.
Cocoa comatosis. I love that. We need to write that down in the funny book. I'm writing things down. I'm writing things down that I forget. And this is the girl that we watched, Like the Felt. And this is a little poem that Cheryl told me the other night. So, cocoa comatosis. I'm writing it down.
You had it. Cocoa comatosis.
Cocoa comatosis. I love it. Let me find my ink pen.
You need one? Okay.
Cocoa coma TOSIS. Chocolate overload. Joe.
Fudge cookies. What's that one up north? It's chunky chocolate chips with it's an ice cream.
Triple chunky brownie chocolate ice cream.
A mousse or something. Chocolate chip mousse chunks or something.
I don't know.
Boy, I'd get a high on that.
So anyway, this particular felt project that I've done is really kind of, it's got some thickness to it, like a blanket. And so I'm hiding all my stitches in the center when I travel to go to a new place, and to put my new beads. So anyway, I'm just doing this for just a minute. Ginger ale time. There you go. Now that would help my stomach. Chocolitis. I might have chocolitis. Inflammation of the chocolate.
Who said that?
I did.
Hey, Tracy.
Tracy said chocolicious.
You know how you can tell if
chocolate.
You've got that chocolitis? Your skin looks like you start getting a tan, a brown tan. Too much chocolate.
Turn brown around the gills.
Brown.
Around the gills. Chocolate delicious, she said. It was yummy.
Oh, yeah.
It was. That candy bar was rich. But it was pure chocolate. I shouldn't have eaten it all. But too late now.
Well, I won't tell you where the rest of them are.
Teresa's got freckles. Does that count?
Oh my.
Only if you add to the freckles after you eat chocolate. That might. Maybe that's what caused your freckles. I heard that they were butterfly kisses.
Yeah.
Some people can drink a little warm water with a baking soda stirred in. Well, I've been eating some Tums, and I took an antacid, but apparently the coffee that I drank this morning aggravated the ulcer, whatever it is in my stomach that's aggravated. I must have a little ulcer or some sore spot because I normally don't have any problem. Hi, Sherry. So, let me thread my needle again. I pulled my thread out. I do have a needle threader, but I don't know if it would thread this tiny of a needle. So, I'm almost done with this, and we can go move on. But this has been a lot of fun putting the beads on it. And I watched a couple more videos on, for projects to do. My needle came off again, I swear. Hi, Mina. That's a real treat. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad to have you here. It's a treat to have you here. Mr. Fox is looking fabulous. Yes, he is. He is. The embellishment part is really fun. This has been just a really fun project all the way through. And this was my first time doing it, so it was a real treat to see it finished and to see it come out as good as it did. That's real good. For a beginner, had a great time doing it. And I wanted to show y'all a few little things that you can do when you're sort of finished. I think I can still do embellishments on it. But anyway, I'm just tying my knot off on the bead that I just put in. Like that. I got some Happy Mail today. I guess I ought to show it to you. I can do that next. Where's my scissors? But so the first two layers was wet felting, and then I did the needle felting. Oh, I also put a bead up here. There's a butterfly up here, so I can add some charms to the background if I have any little animal charms. So let me show you the butterfly bead. He's up in the tree with the red bird. So, and then I put bigger beads in to make it look like rocks. And just the seed beads all the way around. So, there was 2 wet feltings and 1 needle felting, and then the bead embellishments. And I still think that I can do some more with when I get my sari silk and stuff like that. Thank you, Jennifer. I think I'm going to put it in the living room and put it on some kind of a hardback board and put it up on the I haven't gotten anything yet, Cheryl. Your envelope napkin pouch. Have I gotten it yet? I got Happy Mail today, but it was from Tanya and Sharon. So
When'd she send it?
No. So anyway, I'm going to put him away until after a while. I'll show it again before we leave. But I'm done with him for tonight. So we're going to work on the angel. Oh, I got some tea lights. So these are going to go underneath her skirt. In the group. It's in the group. Oh, you made a picture of it? Okay. Let me go see. I haven't been online too much today. So I've oh, there it is. Look at that. See if I can get it from being blurry. There. Isn't that pretty?
Cool.
That's nice, Cheryl. And then it's a pouch. It opens up. Very, very nice.
Nice butterflies.
Yeah.
I like those colors.
Yeah, I love I love that little. I remember that napkin. Very nice. What are you gonna put in it? That's what I want to know. What are you gonna put in it? So anyway, these are the little tea lights that you can get, and Joe bought these at the Dollar Tree, 2 for $1. Okay, these are the little candles that I'm going to use under her dress. So the first mail was from Tanya. Let me open my mail. It's in Beth's mixed media room. She must have sent me something. Hi, Beth. Here's a postcard. Isn't that cute? It's got thumbprints on it. I bet those are her thumbprints. And look at the little birds. Aren't those so cute? And I think she doodled. I think she might have doodled a little bit on there. It says, hi, Beth. Thanks for the wonderful card. Oh, she wanted to send me a little journal to work along with her. Love, Tanya. Well, this is a little journal that she was working on, and I get to work in it with her on her videos. She sewed it up on the sewing machine with some different kind of paper in here, And it looks like she made it out of a piece of wallpaper, so I get to decorate that. Very nice. Well, thank you, Tanya. That's sweet. Hi, pardon the type print note. I just wanted to get this tiny journal to you before the holiday rush hits me. There will be a video coming soon about what I plan to do with this journal for 2020. I would love it if you played along. Please, please do not feel obligated to in any way. I would hope you would use it to do something fun in your own art style, really. Thought it was just a little token to say thank you for to my wonderful friends and subbies. Happy holidays, Tanya. Well, that'll go in my personal page note, and this will go in my postcard page. Well, how nice. So I'm going to leave this one out because it's something I want to work on. I can do that. I can do that. Thank you, Tanya. And then this one's from Sharon Lumbar. See what Sharon says. I love the envelopes. They're painty envelopes. Isn't that pretty? Love that. This came all the way from Oregon. I could put some of this in my new book. Oh, Sharon sent me some. Oh, I was going to go down the street and ask and beg for some. She sent me some horsehair. Oh my gosh. Look, guys, horsehair. I could put whiskers on the fox.
Cool.
I was going to ask for some horsehair from my neighbor because she has a real horse. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Sharon. I am tickled to death to get that. And here's some embossed pretty paper. Isn't that beautiful? That is cool. Here's some horsehair for you to use, whiskers or whatever. Happy felting. Oh, how cute is that? And she sent me a little bear with a fancy hat. Everybody's going to get whiskers today. And some more pretty paper. And this is like a map. And this is real pretty. Isn't that pretty? Embossed. Love it.
Five pebble daisies or something.
Yeah, it is very pretty. And I bet you she embossed it. I bet she's got one of those machines that does that. Thank you, Sharon. This is going to out. This is going out on the desk. Oh my gosh. We got horsehair. Who would ever thought we would get so excited over a little bit of hair? I know it. We used to use horsehair in the furniture, not on the craft table. Oh, I'm tearing up. I'm so happy. So now, Joe, this is how you bundle horsehair.
I see that.
I wonder if she has access to a horse. I'll have to ask her. Y'all holler at me if she comes in. It's usually supper time for her. Show the kitty. Oh, you want me to put the horsehair on the kitty cat on a cat? I don't know what she means. But that is a surprise. How are you going to use the sari on the fox? I'm going to tack it on in some of the field if I get any greens and blues. The next time I do wet felting, I'm going to use the sari in the felting process. But since I don't have any on here, and I didn't have any to use it. I saw Sarah, the girl that I was talking about all the time. She used it and felted with it. So I will be using Sari silk and some other fibers. Of course, I did use every fiber that I had in my art room is in here. Oh, Holly Berry wants some horsehair. You think she would want some? Oh, you think she would? Well, she's not in here right now, but I'll let her smell it. But we have a horse 2 doors down, so she probably goes down there. But anyway, you can use your ribbon in your artwork, and I've seen it where they leave it crinkly and they let it flip over and you can do certain little waves in the grass or something. I'll when I get it, I'll figure it out when I get it. But this is all that I have so far, Suzanne, and I just finished the bead. They were doing all the bead work this morning. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put some horsehair on my little foxy guy. He's going to get some whiskers. I guess I can use my needle. It looked like it would go through my needle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably came from a mane. It's so pretty and clean. I don't know. I mean, I don't guess you can buy it. Might be able to buy it. Yeah, it goes through the needle. So I'm going to go in over here and come out over here and give our fox a little bit of whiskers. Oh, it's going to work. It's going to work. And I'm going to leave them long until I get them all in. And I could uh, maybe put a little glue or little dot of clear glue and to hold it down so they didn't accidentally pull out. But I'm putting whiskers on them. Can you believe this? I'm in hog heaven, fox heaven. So I'm going in on the one side and coming out on this side. Oh my gosh, he's getting whiskers. Oh my gosh. I'll hold it up so you can see it in just a minute. I've got a dark one here. Yeah, they've got whiskers. Here's a picture of a fox that Joe brought up. He's got black whiskers. I've got my black one now. He looks pretty good. My Foxy looks good. Thanks, Joe. I will. I will. Let me get this one. I've got a black one now I'm going to put on with the white one. But it's working. It's a fiber, but it's letting me work with it and with the needle, so that's the main thing. Oh my gosh. I am just ecstatic.
Just keep them in line. They're like dogs,
Yeah.
dog hairs.
Yeah, they in a row.
They're in a row.
This is not hurting him at one bit, guys. It's not hurting one bit. Oh shoot, I didn't have a hold of it. I had a hold of it and pulled it out. It's all right. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I'm going to be talking about this all night long. It's the best thing that happened to me this year. Come on. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at our Foxy. You still got that picture up?
Well, I'm trying to, you know.
I think I am going to put I've got some clear glue up here, and I'm going to glue it around his nose. Hog hair paintbrushes. Well, Joe bought me these little paintbrushes, and I bet they're some form of horse hair.
Horsehair, yeah.
I bet they are. That's what it looks like. I saw a video the other day that how they made some paintbrushes are made by hand out of animal hair and horse hair and rabbit hair. So can you see his whiskers?
Drop it in, right there.
So let me get the fabric glue. I've got some liquid glue. And this is just clear glue, Crazy Art, which is probably Walmart or something. And I can use a toothpick to put it on. I think he's happy to get whiskers.
Well, there's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. That and there doesn't show that's in rows. So most of them are in rows. It's got like 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. It's a little young one.
But this is just liquid glue, clear glue. And I'm going to put it down real close to the nose so that it'll dry clear so you won't be able to see it. That way I won't accidentally snag them out. Maybe. Thank you, Sharon. Woohoo, Sharon. If she's not in here, she'll be watching it. We are in horse heaven. Forget the hogs. We got horses. Look what the horse brought in. Mm-hmm.
Gray fox.
That is awesome. Now, I've never used glue on here before, so I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll find out. Well, I didn't go to the back with the needle, so I don't know that would be a. It's a clear glue, so it will dry clear. It should not be cloudy or anything. And when I put it on there, it went. It slurped it up. So it's damp, but I didn't go to the back with the horsehair. So next time I do something like that, maybe I should go to the back and thread it to the front. Yeah. Okay. There's this one at. So I think I can tame the hair to go another direction, but I'm going to have to wait till it dries because I pulled it out. But I can tame the hair. I can use the curling iron on it if I have to. Hi, Sue. Oh, Sue, you caught us. Oh my gosh, we're putting horse hair on this box. Oh my gosh, so excited. Just a little excited. But yeah, heck yeah, that'll work. We'll find out. We got glue on the nose. I think it'll work. Okay. Now we're going to do our angel. Y'all ready to do an angel? We'll sit this over to let the nose dry. Give you one more little peek. And I can work with it a little bit later, and I can even add more to it. And I bet you I can make them go in a particular direction if I work with them.
Mm-hmm.
No, Sharon Lombard sends them to me. I don't know where she got them at. She's not here yet, but this is usually her dinner time. But she sent them to me as a gift. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I was going to go to the neighbors and beg for horsehair. Who knew? Who knew that we would be so excited just to get some horsehair? Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, um, let me look at our angel, and I think I've done some stuff. I cleaned out my desk a little bit. And I put everything that we were working on into this one tub so I can be organized. How about that? That's right. I wanted to be organized. Pretty sure Now you can make your angel any way, any color you want. It doesn't have to be this color, but I'm going to use this color because I have it. We were talking about the base. It kind of looked like a candlestick holder. Now it looks like one of those cones in the middle of the road with a ball on top of it, doesn't it? Uh, so if you didn't see how we did this Saturday, and we basically, this is our form for the inside of the angel, and we have to have something that stands up to hold to hold our angel up. Um, Here's our little angel. And so I think it would be easier to go from the bottom up, do her gown and her arms, and then we'll do her hair last because her hair is going to be draping down. Some wool on there. So we're going to do her gown first. And it looks like they have some little lights underneath her dress. And I got the tea lights at the Dollar Tree, 2 for $1, to put under her gown, and we'll see how that works. So we'll do that last. So I'm going to. We know that this is going to stand up because we felted it. You have to make sure that it's felted real dense. Make it real dense like you would a dryer ball. Real dense. And it makes it firm for it to stand up. I don't think you can poke it enough to make it as hard as, you can continue to poke and poke and poke and poke. But and I did add some weight to it by adding some wire to the base of the candlestick, and I covered it up. There's looks like a little piece of yellow coming through. That's the Chanel wire that I wrapped around the base of it, and I put a little bit more wool around it to cover the Chanel wire up. We also put a skewer up to the center of this uh, form. It's the form underneath the angel. So now I want to get my wool, and this is merino wool. This is core wool, and this is what I used for the form. This is a dollar an ounce, and then this is a little like $3 an ounce. And I did go online today. Yes, you can get the string lights too. And I think are they battery? And I think you can get them electric too. So anything will work as long as it's not fire, no fire. So I went online today, and I went to Mohair and More, and they are a company. Ooh, coupon code. Let's see what that says. Of course, the more you buy, the cheaper it is, and it's free shipping with orders over $75. But anyway, I went to the website, and I wanted to show you the website. I don't think I would get in trouble for this. But when you go in here and you hit, I think I hit searched, and I just typed in wool, and all of these wools come up, and I was going to try to show you all of them on one page. You've got yarn, spinning, dyed fibers, undyed fibers, blends. Uh, you've got all of these different types of wools to choose from for whatever you want. And I look at all of them all the time. Um, there's roving wool, and and all of they have a picture of the wool and the prices. Um, and if you have any questions, her phone number is on here, and she says to call at any time. So if you have any issues, tell her what you want to make, tell her what you're doing, tell her I sent you. I haven't ordered from her for a while, but I do have some things in my cart. So but I wanted to show you that you can buy different kinds of wools, and some of them, the mohair is an expensive one, but there is another one that's not as expensive as the mohair. Uh, it's like $1.50 to $2 an ounce versus $3 an ounce, and of course there's 2-ounce packages, and then there's 4-ounce packages, and then there's 8-ounce packages, and the more you buy, the cheaper it is per ounce. And it just depends on how much you're going to do, how interested you are in this hobby. It's mohairandmore.com. That's all you have to type in, mohairandmore.com, and that's all you really need to know. It'll take you right to the web page. And they don't have a catalog that they can mail you. Everything's online. And so anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to make her a skirt first, and then I'm going to make her top. So her skirt, I'm just going to go to my wool here, and I taught you how to draft off of the wool, and you go to the tips of the ends. You go to these ends right here, and you're going to I usually use my thumb and the crank of my first finger, and I grab a hold of a thumb's worth of fibers, and I draft it off and I put this hand backwards a little bit and let it draft off, because all the fibers are all up in here. They're all up in here, so you can't hold it here or you can't get them off, because these fibers are like 4 inches long. So if I hold it back about 8 inches, these will draft off in one little tug, and you get a pinch, which is where you pinched, and then you have this nice little uh, layer that is going to be part of her gown that's going to be on the table. And this is just the first one. We're going to do this about 10 times or more, however many times it takes us to get all the way around her. But I'm going to go ahead and pull off several of them right now. So here I'm drafting off the second pull, and I'm just going to lay it down, and I'm keeping the top together right here and right here, because that's the part we're going to felt onto her skirt, on her waist. So I'm just going to do this about 3 or 4 times. I took a thumb and a finger and pulled this much off, and this part I want together. I hope I'm making sense. And then I'm just going to do this many for right now, and I will be needing more than 4. I don't know how many I need. So I need to think about where I think her waist might be, and I think her waist would be about right here. Uh, and you don't have to mark it. You don't have to mark it, but this is going to be her waist, and I'm just going to put a pencil mark there as an example. You don't have to mark it. You can mark it with your finger, but I'm going to make a pencil mark, and this is my waist. That's about right. I'm just using a pencil, but I just wanted you to see this is my invisible waistline. And I'm going to take my tuft, one of my tufts, and lay it on the pencil mark right there, and I'm going to needle felt it down. And I've left a little bit up here. I left that little bit. I probably ought to do a different color. I left about an inch on the top, and I'm felting down on an invisible waistline. And I'm leaving these tucks up right now. They can be folded down now, and you can continue to felt them down. I am felting just the tip of my needle into her waist. I'm not going all the way through her waist. I'm just tapping the surface. And every now and then I can feel that there's a skewer in the middle of her form. And I kind of feel that sometimes. I hit it a little bit, but I'm not doing it so hard to break my needle. And I'm leaving it long because we want it to train down onto the table. Okay. Now I'm going to get my next tuft right here. Get it at the pinch, lay it on her invisible waistline, and I'm going to poke it in. Now, if you're afraid of hitting your fingers, then make sure your finger is down in the back below the waistline, and you can go at an angle upward away from your knuckle. If you go this way, you might hit your knuckle. You see what I'm saying? The angle, it's all about the angle. So I'm tapping, 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 tapping. I'm hitting the skewer, which is okay, but I'm not hitting it real hard. It's not hurting anything. I'm not tapping hard enough to break anything. And then I'm going to take the little tops, the wisps, and I'm going to fold them down, and I'm going to felt them into. I'm making her waist. Now, if you want me to, I'm going to do this one layer, and if you want, I can put a different color on her waist so that you can see the contrast, and it'll look pretty if I do it, and I will. I'm going to go ahead and put two more tufts around her. I think I can get them on, and that'll be my first layer. And these um, fibers will be part of the skirt, and then the tea light will go underneath the fibers and glow underneath. So this is just the beginning of our skirt. I'm going to get the next tuft and do it and repeat. Put it on my invisible waistline and needle it down on the line. There's no right or wrong. If you have a different little way or system of doing this, that's perfectly fine. But this is the way I'm trying to teach you how to put a skirt on. And I'm going to take her wispies and fold them down a little bit and tack them down a little. Felt them down. And when we get to the end, we can decorate her with beads, pearls, lace. Sky's the limit on how you want to dress your angel. Angle is an important, yep. You got to watch the angle of your needle so you don't hit your thumb. So I'm going to go away from my needle, from my thumb, angle it away so that that's right. That's right. So I've got enough room to put one more on the back. And I'm just going to hold it down and do that invisible line again. And you might take you 5 little tufts to go around, and that's okay too. It doesn't matter how many tufts you put on here, just as long, because your form might be thicker than mine or smaller. It doesn't matter, uh, as long as you just go around. Because this is just the first layer. We're going to do several layers, but this is going to give her the this is like the petticoat. This is her petticoat under her gown, and it kind of looks like a hula skirt. But you see how that's coming around? That's going to be so cute. I'm excited. It didn't take much to excite me. So I just left it out. I'm going to hold it down. Now I'm going to, just for fun, I'm going to use a different color because I want you to see how you can do that. You can do it all in white, or you can do it in 2 tones, 3 tones, 4 tones. The sky is the limit. And let's see, what color should I use? I could go with purple. The pink would be pretty. The green would be pretty. Let's go with purple. It's the first one I picked up. And I can make another angel. After we do this one, we can make another angel if you all like this that much. So anyway, I've got my merino wool, and I've fluffed out the tails. Okay, now this one's a little bit thicker than this one, okay? And that's okay. That won't hurt a thing. But I'm going to take the ends of this wool, and I'm going to pinch the ends with my thumb and my finger. Some people like to use the back of their hand and grab it with all of their fingers. You can do that too. Okay, there's no right or wrong on how you draft your wool off, as long as you got a hold of it. That's the main thing. So I got a good grip, and I've got a little bit of wool here. Now this was my first pull, and it wasn't real even all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to go with another one, and let's see if we can't even it up. And I might need to separate that shorter hair. Whatever it takes to help you, okay? She's got to turn that TV off. It's distracting her. Yes, you could do all kinds of things. White webbing. Yeah, sure. So anyway, I'm pulling a tuft off, and this is going to be a little tough. A little tough. A little tug, a little bit of wool. It's not a whole lot. So I'm going to stack 2 together to make one. And it's not as long as this one, and it wasn't as long as this one. So I could probably make this one a little shorter by pulling it. And I did. So there's one. I put 2 together for one. And now I'm going to put 2 together for this one. See if I can even it up. That'll work. So this wool is a little bit different than this wool. This wool is probably a specialty wool. It probably has another name because it's much longer. So anyway, I'm going to make some more tufts. I'm just drafting my wool off of my roving. This is roving wool. It's what they call roving. It's all in one direction, combed in a long string, a long rope like. So anyway, these look okay. They're not exactly as thick. They're a little bit, vary a little bit, but that's okay. This will work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to lay it onto my waistline, a little bit above the waistline, and I'm going to felt it about an inch or a half inch down. on my invisible line, just like we did the first one, the first layer. And then I'm going to take the tassels there, tails, and fold them down and felt them down too. It's easy. It's not hard. It's not hard at all, and doesn't take but just a few stabs with your needle. So there's our first layer on the white. And it's going to look like a little pixie dress is what it's going to look like. So I'm getting my second little batch, and I'm putting it right beside the first one. This is our second layer, and I'm felting on the invisible waistline. And then I'm going to fold the tails down and felt them down, making a waistband. Yeah, you could put belts on her, gold chains, woohoo, old jewelry. I think it will, Teresa. And it's easy. It really is easy. Now, there's a little bit of a space right here between the two. What we're going to do is just kind of it'll comb over, and if we have to, excuse me, if we have to, we can comb them. Just coat them over a little bit. If we have to, we can put a little piece there. But let's finish the rest of the skirt. And one way to well, something's making me sneeze. If we're too far apart when we attach it to the waistband, we might need to go overlap it a little bit so that this space will cover up naturally. But we can fix it. We can tuck it over. And we cannot take a comb to this because it would probably comb out all of the hair. A comb would be too rough on it, but so delicate. But you can take your needle and just gently comb down that seam, that little seam there, and comb those two together. That's the best way to do it. The needle is delicate enough that it doesn't pull anything out, but you can comb it out. You can comb all of it off with a real comb. So we don't want to use a real comb. So now I'm going to go to the next section, and we may need to do 5 instead of 4. So whatever it takes to cover her waist, because it's getting bigger. You see, we're not smaller. We're getting bigger. So we might need more fibers to make it tear out. If that makes sense. But there's the next one. Hi, everybody coming in. Okay, Painie's got the mute on until her hubby's goes to bed. Okay. So here's our next on the waistband, and I'm overlapping it this time on the waist. Watching my fingers at all times and angling my needle upwards away from my fingers. And I'm not going all the way through. I'm not even going in to the top of the burrs. I'm just barely tapping it in. Now I'm folding down the tails and felting them down. Getting our next piece. I'm overlapping it a little bit. If you have to, you can lay it down and work on it laying down. I was holding it up so that you could see what I was doing. Folding my tails down, felting them down. And you go back to where I overlapped it just a little bit, and I just gently comb it over a little bit to where they'll meet. I'm fluffing it out. I'm ringing it like a bell to fluff it out. Okay, Allie. Allie showed some of her digital art. Okay. Oh, great. Great, Allie. Good for you. Okay. So I'm at the little seam, I'm combing them together a little bit so you can't see the opening. It just feathers out. And it's the same thing with this last one. It barely came over at the waist, but I think I'm going to add another little piece of purple, not the whole thing. I'm just going to use half of it. To cover up that last little seam. Now she's starting to get a waistline now, and it's getting fluffier and fluffier. So I'm just going to go around the edge and make sure I got it down real good. Go all the way around. Just for good measure. So there's her skirt. And here's what she looks like on the bottom. It's just all fuzzy and fluffy. Now let's try the light. I can't wait. Spoiler alert. Let's see if it's going to work. I think I need more fibers on her. See? I think we need more fibers. Okay. Just the top of the skirts. Yeah, just at the very top. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm playing with this. I'm putting this together. I'm making it up as I go. All I have is the picture, and it looked like on the picture that she has a longer train out here. It looks like it really goes on out onto the table a little further. I'm touching the table with her now, but it's not going all the way out very far. And I want it to go out a little bit further. So I'm going to add another layer on her underneath to make it longer. So when you do your first layer, it's going to be at her knees so that she'll have this train all the way around her. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense if So I'm going to pull some more white tufts. I'm going to save this for later. I'll use it. So this white ecru is a different brand from the purple. It's a different texture, it's a different length. So you have to adjust with whatever wool you have, whatever kind of wool you have. So I'm going to pull off some more. I'm going to put some more on under her skirt at her knees and make it longer. So I'm going to probably need, I'd used 4 before, so I'm going to try 5 on her knees to make it real thick because I don't want you to see her base. I'm trying to hide the base. So I'm going to try 5, and I'm drafting this off by holding it real tight with my thumb and my finger, and I'm pulling it off and drafting off the length of that sheep. And that's how long it is. The purple one wasn't as long. It's a different sheep. And I don't know what this one is because it's out of the bag. I didn't save the bags. So I'm going to get up under her and fluff her upside down without making a mess. And I've got to pretend I know where her knees are. It's very pretty. Yes, we're going to do we can do wings. So I'm going to lay this down just like I did the waistline and pretend these are above her knees, and we're going to felt this layer down, and I'm going to overlap these layers because I've got 5 of them. I just did 4 on the waist. So when you do yours, you might use 5, and I think that would be a better fit to use 5. So here we go. I'm going to overlap it. This is going to make her gown longer. I got the third one going around. I overlapped it a little bit. I'm paying attention to where my needle is and my fingers. Which is what you're supposed to do. You have to watch where your fingers are at all times so you don't poke yourself. These needles are sharp, and they don't care what they poke. The needles don't care. They just want to poke something. They're doing their job. And working with white wool, you don't want to get any blood on it either, because it might stain. So I'm getting the next batch. I'm overlapping it a little bit. Angling it away from my knuckle so my knuckle won't get touched. Hitting the skewer every now and then. But I'm not jabbing it that hard to hurt my needle or hurt the skewer, either one. Angling is important. Now, just use the 4, and it went all the way around. So, I'm going to leave it at that, I guess. I'm going to lower the top one. Ringing it, fluffing it down like you're ringing a bell. See how that looks. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. Now, I still have a little bit of purple left, and I've got a little bit of a white spot there, so I'm going to put that there since I got it. You can add to it, do whatever you want. Now, if you want to design this purple to make it look like a petal and put petals around her all the way around, you can do that. You can be creative. I'm not going to do the petals tonight, but that would be cute. With each little tuft that you put on, you can keep it in an oval leaf shape and make it a petal on top of the white. That would be cute. But the white is double layered now. I'm using my needle to comb it a little bit. I'm not being aggressive with it. I'm just doing it in light little strokes, not big strokes, little ones, because it will comb out from the base. Now I've got these long ones here. I don't know if you can see how long that is right here, and I'm letting that be. Uh, I'm not pulling it off. I could easily pull that off, but I'm not going to. I want it to stay. Now, another thing that you can do with this angel, if you wanted to, instead of the long train, having a long train, you can use a doily. And the doily could be, what she sits on. And I've got a doily right over here. I'll get it out before we leave. But there she is, and she's going to have a train all the way around her. Woohoo! Now we got to make her top. And I did do some blending. Saturday I blended some colors together, and I thought that we could make her earth, some kind of a flesh tone. And we talked about different colors of flesh. And in the picture, they've got her as a peachy flesh colored girl. And I call that a peach flesh. It's a pinkish peach. But I made my own concoction, and I thought that my girl was going to be this color. And this color is all of this made up and combed into this color. I carded it and blended all of these colors. I had a little bit of a taupey color. I had a little bit of a dark brown. I had pink, a light tangerine, and a little bit of the white roving wool. And I blended it together till it came up to be this shade. And so my little girl is going to be this color for her flesh. So I made a rope, and I literally laid down pieces of this mixed up fluff. Excuse me. After I pulled this all together and I got the collar, I literally felted it, and I kept pulling it and felting it and pulling it and felting it and pulling it and felting it until I got a rope, and I kept slowly pulling it out, and the fibers were, in every length of the rope. And as you can see, this is real small right here, but this is good and this is good. So this could be wrapped around her, and these could be her part of her arms. So now I'm going to take the rest of this that I have here, and I'm going to make her face. I'm going to make this the color of her face because that's the rest of this wool. So this is literally going to be going to in between her shoulder blades in the back, and then her arms are going to come around to the front and come down. And I'm going to do this in layers as I make her bodice. I'm going to make her top of her dress now. I don't know how I'm really going to do it, so I'm going to just wing it. When I did my other little girls, this one is just rows, just simple rows of layers. And then I did this little lady, and this one was done like an ace bandaged. And this is how I think I'm going to do her. I'm going to do her similar to this. So what I did is I wrapped the wool around her upper waist and around her bodice, and then I felted her arms on, and then I wrapped another piece and did it like an eight, a crazy eight, ice skating eight figure, and wrapped it with the final piece. So that's how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to wrap. I have another tuft here. I'm going to wrap this around her waist, and I'm going to do it all in this white because none of her skin is really showing. This is her dress, not her skin. So I'm just going to start tacking this on a little bit, this tuft, and it's going to go all the way around her bodice, her upper body from the waist up. And this is going to give her a little more uh, bulk so that she's not so skinny. Give her a little bit of weight. I don't really have to put this on, but I want to. Uh, you can do yours either way. If you want to leave yours as is, but I wanted a base, a circular base like this. And anytime you wrap the wool around and you keep going around and around with your fingers, this is called finger felting, and it's a real term. So I like that, and I'm going to take my needle and gently tack it on all the way around so that none of it comes off. And I think I'm going to go in at the neck to make her neck smaller. So I'm going to tighten the fibers up around her neck to give her a thinner neck. I did go online and looked at core wool, the core wool, and Mohair and More has a good buy on it, and it's not quite $1 an ounce. It's about 95 cents an ounce, but two. It's I think it was 16 ounces. I can't remember now, but they had a batch of it for like 14.95 or something, and you might be able to find some on eBay too, but you have to be careful between grams and ounces. A lot of people go by grams, and I like to go by ounces. Well, if you like felting, if you like doing this, then I would go ahead and get the $14.95, however big that is. Because the bulk, a pound for $16. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get back on my. Yeah, this is 16 ounces, which is a pound, for $14.40. So, Teresa, that's about right. You bought a pound for $16. That's about right. And it's the same core wool that I've been talking about all along. That's what this is. And it'll probably come in a bigger bag. Like this. But they suck all the air out of it when you get it. And it's freeze dried. All the air is out of the bag. And then when you open it up, it goes and it floats back up. It's funny. I just had fun with the packaging. Didn't take much to please me. Okay, so I got my body on, my bodice. We wrapped her up like a little China girl. And you can use belts. Put some belts on her. Tassels. Woohoo. Beads. Sequins, bling. It would be cute to put little white bling on her skirt. Like some of these. Just like every so often. And of course, if you wanted to add a little more color to her, you can add more color. But I don't think I have any purple. But I got a little bit of everything else. But if you wanted to trim her in gold, I could make her a belt. Put this around her waist. That might be an idea. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's mohairandmore.com is where I got mine from. My batch, I've had my batch for probably over a year. Because, like I said, I've been doing this a while. So now I'm going to take some more of my mohair top wool, and I'm going to make her, first I'm going to put her arms on. I'm going to look at her to see if I can see a front or a back, and I don't see a front or a back. It doesn't really matter to me right now at this point. So I'm just going to lay her down, and I'm going to take my little armature rope, and this is going to go right between her shoulder blades. If she were to have shoulder blades, this is where you would put them. And I have another little angel to show you after this. I'm going to make it real fast, and I'm going to show you how to make it out of wire. So I'm stabbing the between her shoulder blades. And I'm putting it on as tight as I can. And it doesn't matter what it looks like, okay? Because it's going to be covered up. So when she stands up, these are going to be her arms. So they're not going, this is too long, right? So I'm making them long on purpose, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and release them from the rest, and I'm making them long. She's not going to have, I'm not going to make them that long. They're probably going to go about to here by the time I get done. And then you remember we did the toothpick and the flower the other day? This is going to be her little wand. And I used a natural toothpick, and it's going to go in her hands, and she's going to hold it, her wand. It's going to be cute. So we're going to hang on to that. And I'm going to take some of this, her arm shade, and I'm going to make an oval on her face while I have her in this position. Her head's really going to be covered, but the front of her face is going to be shown. So I'm going to use a couple of layers of this is her skin tone, and I'm just going to felt her face and the front of her face on. I'm going to go wide because her hair is going to cover the edges. Now, you don't have to give her a color if you want to leave her the natural, this natural shade. That's perfectly fine. I'm giving her a little bit of a tan because she lives in Florida. And this is just to show you how you can do a shade. And you can use any shade you want to make her. If you want to make her, a more cocoa brown, more chocolate brown, whatever shade you want to make her. There's no right or wrong. You pick the shade that you want her makeup to be. And this is what I made her arms out of. And I have a sample here. I used a brown, um, a medium brown, a taupey brown, and I used orange and a little bit of pink. This is a tangerine shade, like a sherbet, and a light pink, and some of the white. And I finger carded it all together. Suzanne says, "Yep, it's $2 cheaper now." I need to write Louise a note. Tell her that I'm sending her some people. So anyway, this is her face, and I'm just going to go way over to the sides. It doesn't really matter where the tails go, and I'm just going to tuck them in because it's going to be under her hair, okay? So I'm just going to go down to her neck. I might even put a little piece around her neck in case her neck shows. But the front of her face is covered. And I'm going to put a little bit on her neck. If she has a V shawl on, like a V neck, then she needs a little brown on her chest. So I'm going to put some on her chest. But it's not chest hair, okay? It's just her shade. Teresa, is that including shipping? That might be your shipping. They won't overcharge you for shipping. She's very honest. So anyway, I'm doing a little bit of on her chest because this is going to make a V. Okay, let's see now how that's looking. I think it looks good. So I'm concerned about just the oval part of her face, and then it's going to be the V of her neck. I think that's going to work. A $5 shipping. Okay. Well, that's not bad at all, really. At least they're not charging you double for shipping. They're really honest. Yeah, a flat rate bait. It'll come in a flat rate box. Good. Great. Okay. So now I'm going to take my roving wool. Now this time I'm not going to draft it off. I'm going to separate. I'm going to separate this in half, and this is approximately 8 inches long. And I've got a piece about this long. It's about 8 to 9 inches long. Okay. Now I'm going to take and find the middle of it and put it at the base of her neck, and I'm going to wrap one down around her waist and around to the front, raising her arm up, and this will go to the front, and I can tack this side down. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to demonstrate, and then this one is going to go around the back of her neck, down to the front of her chest, and then around her waist to the front to be tacked down. And you have to make it kind of tight. If it's too bulky on her, then we have too much wool. So I think we have too much wool. So I'm going to take a little bit of it off and make my rope a little thinner. I'm not going to take half, but I might take a fourth. Okay, and I'm just gently pulling off a little piece of the rope, just being gentle to make it just a little smaller. I find my center point, and it's going to go at the back of her neck between her shoulder blades. And if you want, we can tack this down. I'm ready to make this fit her now. And I'm going to tack it down just right down the center a little bit. I'm not making, actually I'm doing it all over. My needle marks aren't going to show, but I'm just making it, I want it to stay on her, and I don't want it to come off. So I'm felting it down a little bit. That's good enough right there. So I've got this wrapped around her. Now I'm going to go over her shoulders and down and around her waist. And I'm using my thumb to hold it smooth and sort of tight. So when it goes around her back, it's going to show her waist off. And I'm going to raise her arm up and bring it around the front. And this will be tacked down in the front. It's going to continue to go around, and that's okay. I'm going to go as long as it'll go. I'm going to go around. even if it's to the back, and let it feather out. Feather the tails out and felt it down. I'm really kind of on her side, but I'm to her back. I'm at her back where her shoulder blades were tacked. And I am tapping down the tails of the first wrap. And I'm also making her waist, I'm making it little around her waist and making it tight to show her waistline off. And there's no right or wrong. If yours turns out a little different, I've done this before. So I kind of know how it feels, and I'm trying to describe it to you as best I can. And I'm just tapping it down to make sure all of those tails get tucked in, felt it down. Now I'm going to go back up to the top of her neck and get the other side. And I'm going to go crisscross and make a V. You see how we made that, her chest look like her face? This is her face. And it's fuzzy, and we're going to work on that. We're going to go back in here and work on that to make it not so fuzzy. We don't want her to have a hairy chest. But we are working with wool. So we're just going to refine that little V there. We're going to put a necklace on her. So I still have her dress going down in a crisscross. I'm going to go around her waist to the back, pulling it tight a little bit around her waist. I'm keeping this tight. I'm going around her waist, and it's going around to the front. It's long enough to go around again. And I'm just going to continue to go around and just tighten it a little bit. And I'm going to find the tail ends. And here they are right here. Here's their tail ends of that side. And I'm going to felt it down. And it's over on this side. It's in a different place, but that's okay. It'll work. All I did was a little figure 8 around her waist. Felting those tails down so her dress will stay pretty. You can also make her a bouquet of flowers. Get some little tiny artificial flowers, some silk rose petals, or you can find all kinds of things to make for her to make. So here is our angel. Here she is. You can ring her like a bell to fluff her skirt out. And you can play with the colors. You could do this in all white. You could do it in all purple. You can do it in pink and white, pink and purple, uh, any color that you have. It didn't take a lot of purple. It took more white than anything because I've got 2 layers of white. Remember, I went down below her knees. So here she is, and she's going to be feathered out, you know, like a rose petal. So you can fluff her skirt out as much as you can, and I'm not pulling it off. I'm just fluffing it out. I'm not pulling it down and off because you can pull it off, and I'm not trying to pull it off. I'm just trying to get some length. Now I'm going to suggest something at this point, and you probably going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to go get the hairspray. And why not? You know, why not? because it doesn't take much to mess it up. And I have no clue if anybody else has ever done hairspray before, but I don't see any reason why I can't. Mm-hmm. Now I've got a lot of fibers here at the base, and I know they're loose. I know I can easily pull it all off. Let me get my doily out too. This is so fun. It's fun. It's fun. Now, I found these. I don't know where I found these at. It might have been the dollar store, not the Dollar Tree. But I found these, all of these. So, let's open them up. What size do we want? Do we want a big one or a medium one? I think I'm going to use a big one. Let's use a big one. You could even color your doilies. They don't have to be white. So we got our hair left to do. Why hairspray? Well, all of this wool is a fiber, and I don't want to have to comb it every time I move her. And I just thought that hairspray would help hold it in place. I did pull a little bit off. I'm going to try the light. We got our hair left to do. It flickers. You like the wild angel? Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, there she is. We just got to do a few details. These tea lights flicker. Yellow would be pretty, wouldn't it? Oh, you think the hairspray would yellow? Oh, okay. I was just thinking it would hold it more in place, but anyway, so now I'm going to look at the picture again and see how her hands are done. And they're just holding her hands together. So I will trim her hands. I'm going to felt them together first. Now I am being extremely careful. Really, Teresa, I should put my finger cots on. Um, I'm just watching where my finger is, and it's again, I'm doing it at an angle to the side, away from my finger. I'm not going towards my finger. I'm going away from my finger, and that is the ticket. And you're right. I should have either a sponge or something underneath here to work on. But it's delicate. Okay. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to cut these off at an angle that way and this way. And there's her hands and her little flower. And I've just stuck it in her dress. Now we got her hair to do yet, but that's what it's going to be like when she gets done. Oh, she would be one of those glass domes. That would be pretty. So I'm going to move all this out of the way, and we're going to work on her hair. Save my batteries. They said 120 hours on the batteries. And I'm just going to sit her over here for a minute. Now, what I did, I decided I wanted to show y'all something, a little teaching lesson here. Rabbit trail. I had this rug yarn, and we had tested this rug yarn, and even though it wasn't 100% wool, it had fibers in it enough to felt. So I decided that this was acceptable. So I said, well, if I do her hair, I can make, I can make locks, these curls, so that she had curls, like in the picture. And I thought these matched pretty good. Her hair's more of a little chocolate brown than the red, but I'm going to make her kind of a red brown. And I liked these curls. So all I did was separated the yarn, and it's a trifold yarn. It's three ply rather. It's got three strands intertwining each other. And so that's what I did here. I just untwined the yarn and kept the curls as natural as I could for her curls to hang down. So these are going to be those. And what else I did with this yarn is I did it in stages. And I wanted to show you the stages. This was the original yarn. This was the yarn separated. Oh, Suzanne. and then this is the next stage of of refining the curls into frayed fibers, carded, and then this is the final carded. This is what it looks like at ready to use. This is roving wool, and this is carded, and this is made into th- th- uh, fibers to make yarn, and then this is the yarn. It becomes yarn when you twist these together. It's the stages from the wool, from the sheep, to what it looks like, fuzzy wuzzy, and how they put it through the machines to make thread, and then they twist the thread to make yarn. And I wanted to show you the steps because this is exactly what I was talking about when I was talking about core wool. This is the core wool to this yarn. Although this is not wool, this is man-made fibers, because we looked at the label, and one of these, this was a rug yarn, but it was rough enough to felt. We tested it. So anyway, I'm going to use this pretty for her hair. And we can do her hair any way you want. Um, I'm just going to keep it simple, and I am going to card this with my um, brushes, my carding brushes. I think I know what's making me sneeze. There's some soap over here. It'll do that. So anyway, I'm going to put some of this onto my carding brush, and I'm going to comb it and see how it. I didn't comb this other that I had here, but I'm going to comb this one and see how it works. Okay, we'll see how it works. So anyway, I'm going to make this up as I go. So um, I'm going to just start felting it on her head, and I don't have any directions except do what you think looks good. But I'm going to go down the center of her head and make her a part. And I'm being really gentle with her, and I'm being gentle with the needle, and I'm watching my thumb and my fingers at all times. I'm not going in very deep. So I'm just going to do this a few times to get her some hair going up here. And I might have to just use my needle to comb it a little bit. Um, I tried carding it, and it's lost the length, and I wanted a little bit of length. I might be able to use some of this in a minute, but I'm going to try just using the length. This was finger carded on over here on the other side of me here. So anyway, I'm putting some hair on her head. And I don't know if I had uh I don't know if I have any Moreno in that shade, because that's red. Red. I'm going to try this color. It's not an exact match, but I can always go back and make some more curls out of this on my skewers, the way I told you all the other day. This is not very pretty to me, and so she's having a bad hair day. We're going to Plan B because we can, and you can do whatever you want to do. Yeah, I'm going to still use the curls, but I might have to make my own curls. Yeah, I could do a braid. So anyway, I'm going to feather out the tails of this wool here, and I'm going to draft off some fibers. And I'm going to lay these on the top of her head, and I'm going to go down and make a part down the middle of her head. And you can even felt down the tails because I'm not going to fold them back this time. I'm going to draft off another piece and do the other side. I could even let it leave her hair long. And I'm just going to continue to do this all the way around her. I think I might leave it long, guys. No, I won't felt down my fingers. So I'm going to go back over to this side again. It needs more over here. And I'm going to felt this down. Easy, easy, easy. We don't want to give her a concussion. Yeah, I think she's going to have long hair. Now I'm going to do another piece and do it down the back. You can buy yellow hairspray. I'm drafting off some more. And I'm going to turn her just a little bit so I can see her. And I'm going down the back. Actually, I'm going to go to a corner of the back. And I'm going to felt this down. And I'm just lightly tacking. I'm not really going deep. Just lightly tacking. And now I did one corner, now I'm going to do the other corner. This is a real pretty burgundy red. It's not really, it's just real pretty. Now I'm picking her up by her waist, and I'm going to ring her like a little bell. get her, get her all fluffed. And I think maybe we'll just put it in a pony and tie a little pretty bow in it. Or leave it like that. But there's our angel, girls. Now, if you want to make wings on her back, I can show you how to make wings. I know how. There she is. And if you want to do a face on her, we can do, I think simple lines would be good, like just the eyes closed and then a small mouth. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'll find some fancy gold. She's sweet. She's sweet as pie. Um, I could probably felt her eyes in. Okay, wings. Well, I'm going to use this same wool. We'll put her to the side. And I'm going to feather it out like this and lay it down. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to leave them separate. One's going this direction and the other one's going this direction. Kind of a V. Now I'm going to do the other side. And this is the upper wing. And then I'm going to do one more this direction, down, going down a little bit. And this is how you do the wings. And now this part here, with all four of them are layered right here, and I'm going to felt those down. Just take your time. Take your time, and they will felt together. We'll make that V. Tuck it in here. I layered at least a ½ inch on both sides, on all four pieces. I'm going out a little bit, and believe it or not, you're felting a little bit of the wings together. You're not hurting it. This is going to be under her hair. Now, if you don't think that this is going to hold together, we can add a little piece of fiber right here in the center. We could try to make her a halo. But if you think that this is not going to be strong enough, then all you need is a little piece of not a whole thing, but just a pinch, and make a circle with your finger of the fibers and lay it down and felt it down. And this is going to be your security to hold all of it together a little bit extra, a little extra oomph. Does that make sense? To make it a little stronger. This is going to go between her shoulder blades in the back. And then these are going to fluff out and sort of just fall naturally. I think hairspray would be a good idea on these guys too. So I'm just going out a little bit for strength. And I'm going to pick it up now. And I'm just going to be gentle with it and just gently pull it up. And till it comes up. And this is going to be your wings on her back. Okay? So what we're going to do is lay her face down. I'm going to have to take this toothpick and poke it down in between her hands so that it'll stay like that. I'm going to lay her face down. Picking her up by her waist is a safe spot. But I'm going to lay her face down and I'm going to raise her hair up. And it's working. And this is going to lay down between her shoulder blades. And I'm going to go up as high as I can under her hair. And I'm going to felt this on her back. I've got a hold of her between her waist so she doesn't roll. This is really, really fun, guys. We're doing good on time. I've got another little angel I'm going to show you real fast. I'm going to go with it real fast to show you how fast I can make it. And then if you need slower directions, then Tuesday I'll go over it again. But it's real easy. I think that ought to be enough. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So I'm going to leave these fluffed out. I'm going to fold her hair back down. Pick her up by her waist. Can you see her? Now I'm going to work on her eyes and her face. I got the tiniest pinch that I could get. I'm going to fold it in half and twist it a little bit. I'm going to lay it right where I think her eyes should be. And I'm going to poke in the middle and poke it down in the middle. And now I'm just going to make her a sleepy eye. Take your time. If you think you have too much fiber, leave it hanging and you can trim it with your scissors. Just take your time. If you got a little string that you think is not necessary, just trim it off. Throw that away. And we got one little sleepy eye there. Just a moment, girls. Come on, Abby. Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? You just get in?
Had to get me a water. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, the felt sheets that you buy, they're like 25 or 35 cents a piece at Walmart. This helps protect your foam from deteriorating because when you needle felt your foam, it breaks down over a period of time. Okay, now let me find her other eye. If you need to practice your eyes, you can practice them on your felt right here on your table. You can practice your eyes there if you think you need to practice. And if this doesn't look right, I can always take the tweezers and pull it out because I'm not felting real hard. And if all else fails, you can just put more of her skin tone down and start over. Uh, there's there's lots of things you can do to make it right.
I got the pictures of that dog, but I can't send them to you because what's up, buddy? Getting bruises?
So what I'm going to do now is trim off the rest of this black because I think it's too much. I got a little bit more that time. But that's okay. Her eyes look good. I'm very happy with her eyes. And for her mouth, I'm going to use her hair, the color of her hair. So I'm taking a little piece of the red brown and I'm laying it down where her mouth would be.
Well, I tried to send that picture, but when I put you in, okay, when I get your messenger,
And I'm going to cut it off what I don't use.
I can't figure out how to get the dogs on. My dogs already got pictures on them in my picture album, but I don't know where to go to get into my picture album. But anyway, I got this happy birthday.
She's a happy girl.
Terrier that you put on your head. Look on here. Sierra. And I put it on the dog on his dog, one of his dogs. The 85 pounds.
That looks pretty good to me. Now, when you get to be an expert, you can sculpt her face. Can you hear him talking? He's talking to Janelle, his daughter. He's telling a story. And I think that's probably, other than the pearls, I'm going to pick her back up by her waist and ring her like a bell. I like her hair like that, tapered into a point. I like that. It kind of looks like a heart. I can put a little bow here in her hair. That would look really cute. So I think we're a little bit more bling and then we're done.
If you ain't doing something that you shouldn't do, then you take off running. I think that's the way.
Oh, you have a daughter named Janelle too?
So, uh,
I got to work on her mouth.
underline
She's
it.
got whiskers.
Oh,
And the more I poke at her mouth, the thinner it'll be. It won't be so fat. We want her to be dainty.
that's over West Virginia. Is that where that kid's from? What's his name? Yeah. Oh, ain't Wood County got any seniors? Oh, well, oh,
Okay.
wow. Yeah. Yeah.
She really would look pretty under a dome.
Well, listen, I'll let you go. Give me a call later.
I wish I I wish I knew how to take my camera down. Let me see if I can take my camera down.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
wow. Okay. Well, okay. Well, good luck, buddy. Go over and bust his head. Yeah. I don't know. What
All
spelling
right,
weight
I'm
you
going.
got?
I don't want to make you dizzy, but I might. So close your eyes. Close your eyes, cause I'm spinning you off. I'm spinning you around. I think I will pin her hair back and make her head look smaller. Right now she's got the fat head, but I'm going to make it more daintier. I need to work on her mouth and make it more daintier. But there she is. Now, if her skirt isn't thick enough, then I need to put more layers above her knees. And I can do that. I can still do that. This was the first one. If we make another one, I'll put more layers around her waist and her knees. Oh, isn't she cute? She is. She's cute. And I'm going to put some pearls around her neck and make her a necklace. And I think I'm going to do some little tiny, I could use even, I can use glitter glue and just put a dot, 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 dot of silver glitter or sequins. Oh, there's tons of stuff you can do. But there she is. And her back looks just as cute. Her hair looks beautiful. And that's the merino wool. So, okay, I'm going to put my camera back up so you all got to shut your eyes. Don't look. You'll get dizzy. Don't look. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do another angel here. I'll lay this one down so you can see her. I think I need to work on her mouth a little bit and tie a bow in her hair. And I'll post a picture of her. Okay, I saw this really, really cute angel yesterday. Her locks, okay. I used, I had this rug wool, this rug yarn, and I made some locks out of it by just unwinding the yarn. And if you want a particular shade like this red, then you would take a little piece of this red and you would take a long piece of it. So you would take a piece like this off of your roving wool, your merino wool, take a strip of it like this so that it's long. You want a long piece. And then you take a skewer, a barbecue skewer, and you start wrapping this around the skewer. And at first you sort of wrap it around at the top of your, doesn't matter which end, and then you can take and needle felt it or use a piece of tape. Okay, if you're real careful, you can felt it on there. I'm not hitting the wood. I'm going right down the side of the wool, catching it. And I felted it on to my stick. I'm going to continue to roll my stick in a circle and roll my yarn, the roving wool, onto the stick. And it makes a long curl. So you make 2 or 3 of these. Thank you, Natty. You take and do as many of these as you want while you're doing it, okay? I would suggest you do several colors for other projects. And when you get down to the bottom, you roll it into a circle and then you felt it on just like you did at the top. You felt it closed. And you just go down one side of the skewer and felt the yarn or use a piece of tape. And I felted it on by just going down the side of my skewer, not hitting the skewer, but down the side of the skewer until it felted on. See how I pulled the thread fibers and felted it like that with my needle? I felted that on. You take your skewers and put them in a pan of hot boiling water. Let them sit for about 15 minutes. Take them out and lay them on a towel and let them dry overnight. And the next day, or whenever you're ready to use your curls, you will have pretty little curls, like this. And it's the same color as your hair. Whatever you want this color to be. Homemade curls. And they will look like they will look like the girl that we had. They will look just like that. And I guarantee you that's how they did her hair. And I could still put some more locks. I can do some more of these, and I can put some more locks on her, on top of her, curls on top, and let them hang down. But that's how I've learned how to do locks. But now I wanted to show you another angel real quick, and you got to have a pipe cleaner. And I did have some white ones, but I just don't know where they are right now. So we're going to use colored. We'll use pink. I'm not prejudiced. So I'm going to take one of my pipe cleaners, and I'm going to sort of fold it in half, and I'm going to make the circle is, and I'm going to twist the circle at the top. That is you're going to be your new head of your new angel. Then I'm going to take the next one, and I'm going to fold it in half, and um, I'm going to take it around the neck and twist it around the neck a couple of times. And it's going to go down the middle, and that's going to be two legs. Okay, now I'm going to use my roving wool because it's a cheaper wool, and it'll be fine. Or you can use your merino wool, and I'm going to use the ecru shade. This is going to be skin tone. So if you want to use a brown or a tan, if you want your angel to be a different shade, whatever shade is fine. Okay. So I'm going to take some of my wool, and I'm going to wrap it around her head until her head is covered. You might have to felt in between a little bit, but this is going to be her head. But I'm putting more on her. I'm not leaving it that way. I'm putting more on her. So anyway, you're just going to be covering every one of these you're going to cover. I'm taking this around her arm, and I'm just uh, wrapping it around her arm. I'm going to tack it together with her head so that it'll stay just ever so gently. I'm doing real slow. I'm not uh, I'm hitting the hair, the neckline. This is just the first layer. So now I'm going to wrap this around her arm and go down her arm. And if it's too thick in certain areas, you can fluff it out, thin it out a little bit. Just keep wrapping it around her arm till you get down to the bottom. Spiral down her arm. And if you keep turning and using your thumb and finger to smooth it out, it'll look better. And I'm going really fast, so you can take your time when you do yours, but I'm felting it down on her arm.
You know what? I would be able to, if we could do camera like that, I could, okay. Is that pause? No. No. Are you still paused? Oh,
Yes, we're making a mummy doll.
oh, okay.
So now I'm going to take another piece and go around the other arm and do the same thing
I got to call you.
and connect it to the neck.
We'll just have to. We'll just have to get you back. Live. Okay. That's good.
And go all the way down her arm.
Yeah. Yeah. Chocolate and white, pretzels, butter, caramel, some other things. I don't know if it was. It just said it was for him and his wife, but his girlfriend. So I guess I thought you were going to get $25. Oh, uh, maximum of $20 card. You get what? Yeah, it was that little card there. It was the donut card, right? From you? What does it say? This is what I'll do. I'll take it and say, I'll call her. When she calls and asks, I'll say, I got that card for you. Whatever. Oh, okay. What are you laughing about?
Okay, now there are her arms. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more around her head to give her more of a head. To give her more.
When did you all buy coffee mug? Oh,
And it's going to be an oval head, I guess, which is probably good. But this is using a wire, so it sort of helps you with the body.
what'd she say? Yeah, what'd she say about that? Really? Yeah, really. I wouldn't have cared. Well, I know. Oh,
Okay, there's her head.
I don't. This
Now I'm
kit.
going to do her body.
Well, I only give kids $25 if they don't dress.
Oh, good. 10 on a string. Oh, wow. Yeah, they got all the Christmas stuff on sale now, I guess.
That's right. If I give them 50 or $100, that's $25 each, right?
I didn't add any blood. Nope, no blood. Here's our other angel over here. For those of y'all that just came in.
Well, I give them. I sent them money earlier. Okay. Because yeah.
So I'm going to do her body um, with her legs together, but I'm going to wrap her legs separately too. So I guess I'll do her legs first. Be easier. So I'll get some more wool and I'm going to start wrapping her leg.
Well, see, I give them. I give them. Because the boys for their birthday and everything, I give them that, and then when the boys come down here after school and I come, I give them money for Christmas. So I keep my red dress clothes on. Okay, sorry. No, it's
Okay, we'll do the other leg real quick.
okay. Well, see, my black one is it runs out on the 31st. What color is it? Red, silver. Well, see, let me see it. Yeah, the stickers at the top. Yeah, it's blue and silver. Yeah, okay. Well, I've been looking for a different color card. That's got to be it. I'll look a couple more days, and if I don't find it, I'll just call. Well, I'll call them up tomorrow. But if I don't find it between now and tomorrow, I'll call you and tell you again. And just we got to talk.
It does look like a mummy. It would, yeah, just a Chanel wire. Here's what I'm trying to make. Let me see if I can't find it over here.
Ethan, you don't worry about that guy being heavier than you and beating you. They're just making you a better wrestler right now. Next year you'll kick their butt.
There's
I
lots of
know
felted angels on here. Oh, this is on the web.
uh, 10, 10th graders will be able to wrestle them.
Lots of them on here to go by. So, guys, all you need to do is hit search felt. I wrote down felt angels, and there's tons and tons. But this is not the one I saw the other day. Uh, I think this is it. Here it is. This is what I'm making. This is what I'm making. She used the wires and the wool and some string. There's her wires. And I sort of did that. And she's putting all the fluff around her neck, and she brings it down and tucks it under to make it a dress. And leaves her feet showing. Okay. So anyway, she takes her wool and she goes all the way around her neck. Of course, it was an 8-minute video, and it was speed. It was through a speed. Uh, she had it going through speed fast, real fast. But it looked pretty easy, and I think I think that you can do this too. But anyway, you make her head, and you can make it round, and I got that wire in there, so you can mold it any way you want to make her head. I guess I thought since she did it in 8 minutes that I could do it in 8 minutes. Cheryl's going to close her eyes and listen to us for a minute. This is her bedtime. We're doing good on time tonight. I still got a few minutes. Um, has everybody seen the fox yet? Did anybody come in late? Tell me when you're done. Cheryl, I'm never going to be done. I will never be done. Never, never, never. I'm always going to be crafting. Hey, you know what I figured out the other day? As long as I got enough money, I gotta have internet when I'm in the nursing home so that they can play all my videos while I'm laying there. Won't that be fun? Thank you, Deborah. thought that was kind of funny.
I need to just it's here because I was maybe it's in one of my bedrooms.
What are we making today? Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll get the nursing home, buddy. We'll start having nursing home movies, home movies. Oh no, Cheryl, I'm not going to stick myself. My hands are away from my needle. It's all about the angle. Remember, the angle is away, pointing away. I promise. I know I go too fast.
I don't have no sex. Oh, you mean yeah? From evidence, you and Nite.
Oh yes, Cheryl, I will. I'll always have art supplies. I got enough art supplies to last me that long too, believe it or not.
No.
Well, my both of my grandmothers
Will you pull the sticker knife today?
lasted a long time, and one of my grandmothers that I take a lot after, she was 98, and I have to give her credit for doing crafts because she she had to go into a nursing home because at 94 it just wasn't safe for her to live alone, and she wanted to live alone, and she wanted to live in her own place and all that jazz. So we got her into a nursing home, and it was against her will. But mom and dad had gone out of town. They were going out of town, and he was, he was taking her meals and stuff. And so he said, "Now, mom," he says, we're going on a Alaskan cruise. We're going to be gone for 2 weeks. You have to go and stay at a hotel or someplace where they can assist you." So we put her in a 5-star uh, assisted living, and she got a room, and it was like a hotel. She had her she they gave her furniture and everything, and she would go out to dinner and come back. And in an assisted living facilities, they usually require you to come out of your room. You can't just hibernate. Well, she likes to hibernate like me, and I get it honestly. And she wouldn't come out of her room because she said people were going into her room stealing stuff. And so, long story, but she would never come out of her room. So I started taking her things to do in her room, crafts. And I'd say, "Oh, I need this for church, and can you help me make up these tags or these table names?" And I'd take her yarn. I'd get yarn out of the yard sales and buy her yarn, and she would make crochet little blankets, and we would donate them to the nursing homes and to the maternity wards and make baby blankets and stuff. So she loved doing stuff. She couldn't sit still without doing something with her hands. And so then I got the big bright idea that I would do crafts in the lobby with everybody, who wanted to come, including her. I still couldn't get her out of the room. So I started doing crafts with the ladies, and I fell in love with the ladies, of course. And that's kind of the what I ended up doing. My real profession was taking care of the elderly. And so so anyway, I started doing it for the other ladies, and I still felt so sorry for my nana. So I take her all the leftover stuff and say, "Well, here's your shoe box. You can work on yours in your room." And she would. She'd paint. She'd do. I'd have everything pre-cut, All she had to do is put it together, glue it together, or whatever, and she would have a craft. And she loved doing stuff like that. But I never did get her out of her room. So that's when I started going to the nursing homes. And it wasn't long after that I got Abby. And then I trained Abby to be a therapy dog. So she went to the nursing homes with me after that, after I got Abby. And Abby and I became a team. And so after my grandmother passed, um, I stayed with her in her room and forever how long it took and everything. And we did her hospice care. And then I found another nursing home close to where I live. And that was the home that me and Abby went to. And it was close to the house because Nana was in the next town. Because I had moved to when I got married to Joe, I moved away to the next town. So anyway, that's how I sort of got busy with with crafts. Of course, I've always done vacation Bible schools and stuff, so that was no problem. Now you see all this fluff here? Well, she took it and poked it up under her and made her like a little balloon dress. I still need a little more on here. But I tried to make my Nana happy. It wasn't easy. She was only happy when I was there, while I was there. And she was lonely. And she had her mind and she was lonely. But she could have had friends, and they played bingo and checkers and cards. And my grandmother liked to play cards. And but she wouldn't go out and play with the other ladies. So it goes to show you, don't be so stubborn to go meet people. Get out there. But one of the rules with the nursing homes is the rules was you had to come out for your meals, come out of your room. You couldn't stay and be a hobbit. So anyway, this lady, she took these tails and tucked them up and made a little balloon and out of her dress, like a play dress, and she just fluffed up underneath. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'll try. Just have to hold your mouth right and curl them all under. It's working. It's a working. And this probably would look cute in a different shade other than the white, like I did the purple. So just have to keep going. Take your time. And it's slower. It's a slower job because it's so fluffy, but you can do it. It works. You just have to keep at it. And this is part of her dress. And then her legs stick out. And her arms stick out. Kind of like a bulb. It reminds me of of a garlic bulb or a tulip or something. Let's see what Terry did. She did something tonight. Oh, Beth is making an angel, and I'm doing this chick. That's cute. Terry Cleveland did that. Way to go. That's all right. Bye, Suzanne. Thanks for coming. I'm about done. It's 10 o'clock. I was just wanting to do this one. I just thought since that girl did it in 8 minutes, I just thought for sure I could do it in 8 minutes. Not. I'll get it started, so I'll finish her. I'll finish her up. But you saw how I made her with with the Chanel wiring, just one wire, and she bent her hands and her feet uh, to make her look like a pixie in the woods or something. So I'll finish her up tomorrow. But look up felt angels on the internet. There was a bunch. And pick one out and try to do it. But you just have to take your time with the yarn, with the wool, and and just take your time. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. We did it tonight together.
Act like you didn't know what was happening.
And you can still put wings on her too. And see how fat she is? Well, I can continue to sculpt her and make her, make her more daintier. She looks like a pumpkin, but I'm going to continue to felt her to make her more like a petal by working with it. And I am going to be doing some more wet felting. I saw a scarf today, and I want to make a scarf. Some of you girls are leaving, and that's okay. Bye, Mina. Thanks for coming, honey. I'm glad I caught you. Yeah, she's looking good. I wanted to make her skirt a little shorter, and you just keep poking up there until you get it the right size. But I'll finish her up, and oh, did everybody get to see the okay, a scarf? And did everybody get to see the fox? And you can still put angel wings on her too. I'm going to take a picture of this. Then I can post it. Angels in progress. Yeah, let me get the fox. This is my pride and joy right here. We have original horsehair for his whiskers. Oh, and the glue worked. Oh, good. So now I can trim him. This one over here looks a little wild. Sharon Lombard sent me some horse hair. So I got whiskers on the and I added beads in the tree. Here's the red bird and the field. Added some rocks, some beaded rocks. And there's our whiskers on Foxy. He's got rear horse hair whiskers. And the other tree on the other side. So the beads just really were an added touch. Little bling, there you go. Gotta have a little bling. So I added some clear beads in this one and these two. I need to put some clear beads here. I wanted the Queen Anne's lace to sparkle a little bit. So I put clear beads in the white. And I found some chunky beads for rocks and pebbles. I love it. I'm going to end up um, I'm and then I also wanted to tell you all, do you see the little holes in the in my felt? Do you see the holes where I punched? Well, I'm going to rub on those until they disappear and they'll go away. Those little holes, and that's just where I felted it. And you can rub them out so that you don't see all those holes. And and it makes it look better when you rub all those holes out. So I got to do that a little bit more, and I think I'm done with it. I think that's going to be it, and I'm going to put it on a board of some kind. And I've got a beautiful fireplace mantle that has a plate ridge in it, so I can sit it up on the mantle. Probably, I could probably brush it with a needle. That's a good idea. Just by going with the grain. And this is where your needle sizes make a play on your work. I've been using the big needle, and then I can use a tiny needle, the smallest needle that they make, and go back in, and it won't make those big holes. It'll be a smaller needle, and it fine tunes the work that you do. It's the same principle as in sanding. When you sand a piece of furniture, you use a real heavy grit at first, and uh, then the closer you get to the finishing product, you get to a smaller grit to make it real smooth. And it's the same thing with the needles. So yeah, I love it. I think it's done. I think it's as good as it's going to get. I could poke forever on it. I don't think you can overfelt. I think And I think I do want to go around my edges and do this on the very edges of them and make my edges real strong, a little bit stronger, and square my edges up. So I've got that to do yet. And I'm pretty done, and I'll show you the back of it real quick. The back is just as the back is pretty cool. But I'm going to put it on a board, and I took all my needle threads and went in the middle so that you can't see all the threads from the beads. So I like the way I did that because it's pretty fat. It's a good eighth of an inch thick. It's a piece of fabric, and but the back is fine. I'm going to put it on a board or something, and put it in the living room. I think it'll look good in there. I've got brown couches. You're welcome, Joan. What's Allie saying? Kind of background goes behind a wood Scrabble towels. Scrabble towels. So anyway, good night, Joan. I'm going to quit too. I'm quitting. Uh, we did good. We did good. We did this. I got this done today, and we got our angel done. I might work on her a little bit more, put a bow in her hair. I'm going to tie her hair up in a loose bow right here, a knot right here. I can do that. I'll get some more of her hair and wrap it around and make her a bow. So, and then I'll do a scarf. I'll do a scarf Saturday. I'm going to wet felt a scarf. I'm going to clean out my whole table, buddy. Everything's coming off. We're cleaning house. Yeah, I think she's sweet. And I like her skin tone. She's not real white. She's got a blush to her. Okay, guys, have a good night. I'm glad you all came in to see me. I missed y'all Tuesday night, but everybody was streaming, and I just felt like I needed to let them do that, and I needed the night off anyway. It was good for me to have that night off. So, yep, we're going to do a scarf, and I won't be able to wear the scarf down here. It's too hot, but I want to make one. I want to make one. Okay, guys, sweet dreams. Yes, Deb. We're into the new year, 2020. We're going to have perfect vision this year, 2020. Perfect vision. So that's all I know. So I'll post my pictures. Oh, I don't know. I'll think about it, Cheryl. We'll see. I'll think about it. Well, I'll do it now. You said it. Cheryl said it. Okay. Hugs, hugs, and good night, Joe. Okay. He's in there watching the tail end of a ball game or a fight or something sporty. I'll see you all Saturday. See you Saturday. Little Foxy. Good night. Come on, Eddie. Let's go outside.